All right, we are done with week 3 of unschooling, and I wanted to give you guys an update so you know how things are going, at least from a parent's perspective. So my girls are probably going to answer completely different than me, but I have my little notes here of what we did well this week, things I'd like to improve, and then what I'm looking forward to for next week. Okay, so I actually made a short about this, a YouTube short. But one of the things that happened this week, my girls had a dentist appointment on Monday. And on Sunday, the girls came to me and said, hey, can we do our schoolwork on Sunday instead of Monday, because we're not sure if we're going to feel up to it. They were supposed to get a tooth extracted. And I thought that was great. I chalked that up as a win. This is one of the benefits of being able to control your own schedule. I love that they came to me in advance. I didn't even think of that. That was all them. And so on Sunday, they ended up doing their main lessons. I think they did their piano stuff that they needed to do, their piano practice, their Spanish. They got most of it done on Sunday. And then Monday, they had the flexibility to just relax. And that ended up being a good thing because my one daughter did need her tooth extracted and she was kind of, she was kind of sad for most of the day and in some pain and things like that. So that's a win. Anytime you can adjust your schedule and just go with life, because you never know what life is going to throw at you, I think that's a good thing. Also, you may have noticed that the girls are doing more YouTube shorts. I mentioned this as something I was looking forward to, something I had my eye on last week. Well, this is beautiful because it's less editing for me. And so they're actually completely recording their own updates, their questions that they do each week. They're recording themselves. This morning, they got up at like 5:30 in the morning to do stuff. I was like, you girls, you don't have to get up that early. I was expecting them to want to sleep in and be a little lazy, and that's not it. They just feel like they have all this flexibility, and if you want to wake up at 5:30 and do your work at 5:30 in the morning, why not? Right? So they're doing more shorts and they're getting more creative, and I feel like Ainsley is feeling more confident being on camera, thinking about how she is putting her sentence structures together and how she's communicating with people. These are really valuable communication skills. So this isn't just about making a YouTube channel and, educating people on unschooling and stuff. This is helping my girls, I feel, with their communication skills. So I'm really excited about that. Let's talk about some stuff that we could improve upon. And I've been seeing this for a while, and I think I've mentioned it on these videos. So as you guys know, I have twin girls. They are identical twins. So they've been together their whole life. They are very close. Obviously, they're girls. They're, they like a lot of the same stuff. Their personalities are very different, but they're each other's best friends. And that's probably never going to change. I think it's actually quite beautiful. I'm not trying to change that with them. But one of the things that is a little frustrating is the fighting. Now, they've always had, I always feel like I'm playing referee with some of my kids. I don't know. Is it the boys that I'm trying to break up a fight with? Is it the girls? So as a parent, you know what I'm talking about. You always feel like you're kind of a big referee. And we had a big fight this week between the girls. And it was complicated by the fact that in addition to the regular schoolwork, this week we've been working on a gardening project, which we're going to be releasing some videos on. And on this particular day that this fight happened, they had to do something about every 2 hours. They had a schedule. They had to go out and take some pictures of certain plants to see if they were in the sun or not as part of this project. And I told them at the beginning of the day, I laid everything out and I said every 2 hours, and they had these little sticky notes and they knew when to go out and take a photo, and we were all set to go. Well, while I was doing some of my work, this fight broke out. And I couldn't tend to them right away. I was doing some stuff, meetings, things like that, and I couldn't leave what I was doing. So when I came out of my office, I had to deal with the situation. Now, as I've said before, I don't like to get in the middle of their fights a lot. This is a parenting strategy of mine. Some people may disagree with that, but they are so close that me coming in, unless they're physically hurting each other, and that has never happened, I am the outsider in this. They are twins. They have a different relationship that I can't quite explain, although they're just super close. And anyone that comes in from the outside is an outsider, at least with my girls. And so it is actually best for them to work out their own issues. Now, again, if they were going to hurt somebody or endanger themselves somehow, obviously I would step in. But this big fight happened, and I got really upset because due to this big fight, they had missed some of their times that they were supposed to go do stuff. So it totally messed up our agenda for the day. Now, the beautiful part about unschooling and homeschooling is that we were able to move some of this stuff. We were able to change our schedule for the week to accommodate this. But what I didn't like is that they allowed it to interfere with the schedule that we all agreed to at the beginning part of the day. I feel like that's irresponsible. So I ended up taking they have iPhones. So I ended up taking their iPhones away from them. And then I'm like, I don't know what good that did, because they also have MacBook Pros that they can do the same thing on the MacBook Pros. Which I got ever since we've been unschooling and doing school at home. And I'm like, yeah, Sonny, I think you got to come up with a better way to deal with this situation, because getting rid of iPhones, they could do everything on their computers. So that wasn't so good. So that was something that we really got to figure out. And what I did do with them is I after the dust settled, this is just parenting 101. I sat with them and I said, listen, we can't let this happen again. What can we do to make sure that this doesn't derail our whole plans for the day? And so we decided that we would have a 15 to 30 minute break if that was just an issue. If they needed time apart, whatever, if they were just fighting, one girl would go somewhere, the other girl would go somewhere else, and for 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, just cool off, and then we would come back. So there you go. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the future. The other thing, I have a little bit of a parenting and unschooling parenting fail that I wanted to share with you. So again, along the lines of having flexibility, I was thinking on Thursday, was it Thursday? No, I think it was Wednesday. I was thinking, in the morning, I had to take my son to high school. So he goes to a regular public high school. And I thought, well, while I'm out, why don't I pick up, the girls have been bugging me to go to Starbucks. And we don't go to Starbucks a lot, but I thought, it's kind of a treat or whatever. And, this was kind of an easier day as far as my schedule is concerned. So I'm like, we'll go to Starbucks. I'm like, well, why don't you guys come with me while I drop your brother off at the high school, and then we'll stop by Starbucks. Okay, parenting fail is that this took way too long. I have taken my son to school before, but apparently we went a lot earlier. And on Thursday, we ended up going later. There was so much traffic. There were kids everywhere trying to get into the school. And we didn't have a lot of time because my girls on Tuesdays and Thursdays have live classes through a program called outschool.com, if you guys want to check it out. So we had to be back at the house by like 8:30 in the morning, and we didn't leave until 8. So the fail on my part was, I don't know, I kind of got in my head and thought, let's just go get Starbucks. It'll be fun and we can do it because you're not in regular school, And I was trying to use it kind of as a reward and, whatever. But we ended up, I totally stressed myself out. We were still at the high school with like 8 minutes to go until their class started. They didn't have their computers on them. We're in the car. The whole thing was just so unnecessary. And I was beating myself up because you pay for each class you do with Outschool. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is only like a 25, maybe 30-minute class. And because of traffic, we're a good 15 or 20 minutes until we can get back to the house. So long story short, what ended up happening is I totally stressed myself out. I stressed everyone else out. I was like, go, 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 like through all of the lights. They ended up being 10 minutes late to their class. And again, if the class is 25 minutes, that's a good portion of your class. And I just apologized to them and I said, okay, lesson learned. Moving forward, if you have a live class, we're not doing anything before the live class. We're going to try to schedule these live classes in the morning so we have the rest of our day. and we're not gonna go get coffee. We're not gonna do anything like that. By the way, I did end up dropping them off for their class. I went and got the coffee because I promised them. They got some Frappuccino thing, and then we came back and the whole thing was totally not worth it. So, note to self, when it comes to wanting to do something outside of your schedule, your schoolwork still comes first. Don't mess with the live schedule. And then as far as something that I'm looking forward to, so today is Friday. On Sunday, we as a family are going to go up to Julian, California, which is over an hour away, more in the mountains. They actually get snow there. We don't get snow here in the San Diego area. And we're gonna go up there because they have all of these like apple picking, you pick your own apples from the trees. Well, we've done that in the past and that's fun, but honestly, we usually end up bringing the apples home and then they rot because we can't figure out how to eat that many apples. But this year, we're going to a farm that does cider pressing. So we're actually gonna get some cider, told my husband, maybe we'll put, some other stuff in there. We'll have the kids version, we'll have the adult version. So I think we're gonna do some sort of video, I don't know, maybe a YouTube short on what it's like to press the apples to make cider. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So guys, that was week 3, still learning, still growing. I'll do another one next week and then we'll see where it goes from there. Am I gonna do these like every week? Probably not, but I knew for at least the first month I was gonna learn so much and I just wanna share that each week for now. So we'll see. Maybe I'll switch to every month, after next week. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.